Hey, what's up, guys? It's a Sports Blitz here, and we're back with another NFL mock draft for the 2022 draft. Before I jump into it, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. We just hit 750 subscribers. We're on the way to 775. So if you could help me out, hit that subscribe button. That'd be super helpful. But let's go ahead and jump into it. And starting with the Detroit Lions at number 1. If there's no trade involved, I think the consensus pick is either Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Aiden Hutchinson. I think he's the better player. I think Kayvon will be better in the run game than Aiden Hutchinson will, but Aiden Hutchinson's pass rush is just going to be absolutely insane, and I think it's going to help the Detroit Lions a lot. Here we have the Jaguars. Now here there's a number of ways the Jaguars could go. They could honestly trade back if they wanted. They could go Kyle Hamilton, Derek Stingley, Evan Neal, or Kayvon Thibodeau. I'm going to go ahead and go with Kayvon. So those two picks are in there. The Texans. I've gotten a lot of flack for my last mock draft for having the Texans take Matt Corral here. My logic there was that, yeah, they really need to just take the best player available or trade back. I just felt like they'd really be looking for the next franchise quarterback, and I think Matt Corral could definitely be that guy for the Texans. But I'm going to do something different in this one. I'm actually going to have the Texans trade back, try to get a little bit more value. So we're going to be having the Texans trade with the... we're actually going to have them trade with the Carolina Panthers. So they're going to send their first, and then Carolina will send a fifth as well as next year's third. Okay? I don't know if that's too much. I don't know. I guess since we're only doing the first round, it's not going to be a huge deal right now anyways, but, you know, Carolina basically sends this year's fifth and next year's third as well to move up. So, Panthers evaluating the offer. They accepted it. So, Panthers are on the clock, and I am going to go ahead and have them take Ikem Ekwonu right here. Now, I know it's pretty split for a lot of people between Evan Neal and Ikem Ekwonu. Now, I really like Evan Neal. I think he can be a franchise tackle on either side. I think he's definitely going to be an absolute stud in the NFL. But Ikem Ekwonu, I feel like he has more upside than any of the tackles in this class. And really with him, he can be either a franchise level left tackle or he can be a completely dominant left guard. I've mentioned this time and time again. The way that he just gives his power at the guard spot, he could honestly be a Quentin Nelson level offensive guard. So really, really good there. Panthers honestly need help on the interior as well, so I mean that really wouldn't be a bad spot if he doesn't work out at the tackle position. So I think the Panthers definitely get a big cornerstone piece for their franchise there. Next we have the Jets on the clock. I'm gonna go ahead and have them take Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame. He's definitely the consensus best safety in this class. He's insane. I'm not sure I really remember a safety that was this hyped up, coming into the draft. I think he's going to be an absolute stud. I really do. Then we have the New York Giants, and they're kind of panicking here because the Panthers jumped him for Ikem Ekwonu, because I feel like he's a guy that the Giants would really want to take. So, yeah, they're panicking here. They have back-to-back picks. I feel like they were really looking to really stack that offensive line. We're definitely going to take Evan Neal right here. I think he can be their other offensive tackle opposite of Andrew Thomas. And Andrew Thomas has had a pretty solid year, so, we'll give him credit there. I don't think Thomas is, like a super, super great tackle, but he's still probably the best offensive lineman for the Giants. So getting them another good tackle is going to do wonders for that offensive line. So next here, for the Giants, a lot of people probably aren't going to agree with this pick. I'm just going to tell you right now. I am going to go, I'm going to go with Tyler Linderbaum. Okay, I know right here they have him at 19. I love this kid. The dude is just an absolutely incredible center. His run blocking is so good. He's so powerful. You never really see him get blown back into the quarterback, so he's really good in pass blocking as well. You really stack that Giants offensive line, and that's an offense you've got to worry about. So, big picks for the Giants right there. Then we have, again, for the Jets, this is Seattle's pick right here. Derek Stingley's still on the board. They need a lot of secondary help. Let's go ahead and take Derek Stingley. Now with the Texans on the board, here is where you can start evaluating, okay, do we take best player available now? Do we take a quarterback? Or possibly trade back even farther? This is definitely interesting. Let's see. I'm going to do something extremely bold right here, okay? Extremely bold. So we are going to well, actually, I guess we can't do that quite yet. Basically, what I was planning on doing is I'm going to have Deshaun Watson traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But in doing that, it's also not going to be, Texans aren't going to be moving their pick down for that, obviously. So I think, man, what do we do with the Texans pick? They could definitely go Charles Cross right here, have another tackle opposite of Laramie Tunsil. Issue is, both of them are like strictly left tackles. You kind of have to decide which one of them to play on the right side. Or you could even get a guard and get Kenyon Green. I do like Kenyon Green a lot. Yeah, I don't really see anybody else here that anybody would really want to trade up for. Just kind of want them to fall in their lap. So I think I'm going to go ahead and have them... I think I'm actually going to give them George Karlaftis. There's been kind of an issue with the pass rush ever since J.J. Watt left. I think George Karlaftis is the best edge on the board right here. And I think they can take him. Kind of screws over the Falcons, though, because I think they were kind of banking on him being right there. Instead, I think they'll go ahead and fix the interior defensive line and go ahead and take... I'm a bigger fan of Jordan Davis than DeMarvin Leal, if I'm being honest. Jordan Davis, I've mentioned him before. He's so good. He can completely dominate the run. He's like 6'4" and 330, 340 pounds. He's really going to help that D-line. We'll go ahead and have them take him. Then the Eagles with back-to-back picks. So Fletcher Cox is getting older. Javon Hargrave is... I'm actually not sure how old he is, but either way, they're going to want another, really good D tackle there. They might also want another good corner opposite of Darius Slay. I still like Jalen Hurts. I really don't think they need a quarterback. I really don't. They could go offensive line here. They could honestly go edge. I think I'm going to... There's one guy that I definitely want to go with one of these picks. And that is actually Devin Lloyd right here. I'll just go ahead and take him right here. Okay, I love Devin Lloyd. The dude flies around. He's insanely fast. He's good in the run. He can cover. He can rush the passer. He honestly reminds me a lot of like a Micah Parsons type of dude. And you've seen the impact he's had for the Cowboys. You don't pass up on a guy like that here for the Eagles. So I think that'd be awesome for them. The other guy I'm debating on is either Leal or Andrew Booth. So I think it really depends on which one of these guys the Eagles want. I mean, do they want, a tighter secondary, helping Darius Slay, or do they want, an even better defensive line with getting DeMarvin Leal? I think we'll go ahead and go with DeMarvin Leal right here. Really, really help that run game. I mean, I think the Eagles could definitely look in free agency for another corner as well. Plus, they've actually got pick 21. There's some solid corners in this class. There may be a guy like, say, Ahmad Gardner or even Kyrie Lam available around then. So I think this is definitely the right pick for the Eagles. For the Vikings, they also need cornerback help. I feel like they've gotten gashed pretty bad in the passing game. So we're gonna have them take Andrew Booth, who really, if it weren't for his injury, he'd be like neck and neck there with Derek Stingley. Andrew Booth is my second best corner in this class. I mean, him and Stingley really aren't that far apart. They're really not. So the Vikings get a true stud right here. For the Saints, they definitely need a wide receiver. My two favorite receivers in this class are Chris Olave as well as Treylon Burks. I think for what the Saints system is, speedy, fast receivers, I think Chris Olave fits that better. So we're going to go ahead and give them Chris Olave right there. Then for the Raiders, I'm not a huge fan of what's available right here. They definitely need some interior defensive line help, but the two big defensive tackles are gone. You could honestly go Ahmad Gardner right here if you want. You could realistically probably go David Ajabo right here and slide either him or Yannick Ngakoue inside, but I'm not sure how much you'd really want to do that. They could use some offensive tackle help, but I feel like Alex Leatherwood, I think really you should give him another year or two before just, trying to replace him. He's been good enough. I wouldn't try to replace him quite yet. So I don't think they really need an offensive tackle that bad. You could argue we don't know if Derek Carr will be there after this season. Derek Carr is like the perfect game manager. I really don't see him as, that guy that's going to really take you to the next level. I know early in the season he was talked about being an MVP candidate. I really don't see that. I know I'm going to get blasted by some Raiders fans here, but I really don't see that. I'm going to completely brace myself here. Raiders fans, I know you're going to blast me for this. I'm going to give you Matt Corral. I think he has high upside. I think he's safe enough with the ball that he won't turn it over that much. but he also has a high enough ceiling that he can take you to the next level. So yeah, I think that's going to be the right pick for the Raiders if there's no good D tackles or high enough value corners available. Then the Steelers, like I mentioned before, I think we're going to go ahead and have them trade with the Texans for Deshaun Watson. So let's go ahead and set this up. So what we're going to do, so the Steelers are going to give their first, basically, we're just going to say that these 2022 picks, we're just going to say they represent Deshaun Watson, just so that this trade goes through, okay? But it's really going to be, say, Deshaun Watson, which is this, and the Steelers will have to give up this year's first, this year's second, this year's third, which I'm not going to select that because I'm not sure if it'll be accepted otherwise, but then also this year or next year's and the year after's first and second, and then 2023 first, okay? So I think that's the offer that's going to happen, but just so it goes through, it's basically going to be these picks next year is going to represent Deshaun Watson, okay? And then for this draft, basically the Texans will get the Steelers pick right here, okay? So Steelers essentially get Deshaun Watson there. The Texans essentially get another first-round pick. And then obviously two more firsts, the next 2 years. So the Texans here, again, you could argue, okay, so Charles Cross and Kenyon Green are both on the board still. Kenny Pickett is here. Do you want to ride with Davis Mills, give him some more time, give him another chance? I think we're going to go Kenyon Green here. I don't know exactly if Tunsil or Charles Cross can play on the right side, and I think Kenyon Green is just a safer pick there for guard. I mean, they definitely need some offensive guard help, so we're going to have them take him right there. Then with the Broncos, I've mentioned before, I think there's a very, very high possibility they could trade for Aaron Rodgers. I actually had that happen in my last mock draft. I'm going to go ahead and have them take Kenny Pickett today, but again, definitely not going to rule out Aaron Rodgers right there. I think they're one of the most likely destinations for him. Then for the Bengals, I think this would be a good spot for Charles Cross to go. Definitely give Joe Burrow a little bit more protection. Last year they got Jamar Chase. That was definitely a hit. Now they need to give him that protection, so they take Charles Cross. Then for the Browns, they need edge, and I'd argue wide receiver, honestly. So it's really, would you prefer Ajabo or Garrett Wilson? I think I am going to go ahead and go Garrett Wilson, just because, Jarvis Landry really hasn't been that great since Odell Beckham Jr. has been gone either. So they really don't have great receivers right now. Garrett Wilson could realistically come in and be their number one receiver. So I think that really works out for them. Then for the Washington football team, they also kind of need a quarterback. They need a safety. We could go Jaquan Brisker right here. We could go Sam Howell. I'm not sure Sam Howell would really be that big of an upgrade over Taylor Heineke, though. I'm really not super high on Sam Howell, if I'm being honest. If they go quarterback, I would honestly much rather Malik Willis. So it's a matter of, do you want Malik Willis or do you just want to take the best player available? Malik Willis, I feel like, is going to be this year's Lamar Jackson, that everybody's kind of honestly sleeping on him, and he's not going to make a huge impact year one, but give him 2-3 years, and he's going to be that Lamar Jackson type of player. He's going to be that good. And I mean, Ron Rivera has experience with mobile quarterbacks. I think this could be a good pick. Desmond Ridder is also an option there, but I just don't see quite as much potential for him as I do for Malik Willis. Then for the Bills, let's see. Who do we go with here? We could get them another receiver because Emmanuel Sanders, I'm not sure how much longer he's going to play realistically. Cole Beasley's definitely had a down year. I'm actually going to have them take Treylon Burks from Arkansas. As I mentioned earlier, him and Chris Olave are my number one receivers in this class. Burks is an absolute stud. I think he'll really help out Josh Allen and be a good number two, next to Stephon Diggs. So then for the Eagles, like I mentioned earlier, with taking DeMarvin Leal, and not taking Andrew Booth there. I said earlier that either Kaiir Elam or Ahmad Gardner would still be on the board. Ahmad Gardner is right here. I am a bigger fan of Kaiir Elam, so I kind of really want to take him instead. I think this is honestly just up to personal preference. I'm going to take Ahmad Gardner right here. I still think Elam is the better corner, but, we'll go ahead and take Gardner this time. Then for the Dolphins, I would agree with these needs: wide receiver, edge, and running back. Jameson Williams is right here. I really like him. But David Ajabo's still on the board. You pair him up with who was the edge they took last year? Oh, what was his name? I can't think of his name right now, but he's actually had a pretty solid season. You pair him up with David Ajabo, that's going to be a much better pass rush. So we're going to go ahead and have them take him. Then for the Chargers, I feel like they could use another safety opposite of Derwin James. So I'm going to go ahead and have them actually take Jaquan Brisker. They could also go wide receiver because we don't know what Mike Williams is going to do in free agency. So we'll have to, find out about that. But I think after how many points the Chargers allowed last night to the Chiefs, I think they could definitely use some more safety help. Then the Lions are back on the board. I think we will go ahead and get them. I know they need more weapons. I feel like they'll approach weapons more in free agency. I'm going to give them Nakobe Dean. I'm a big fan of Nakobe Dean. They really need a good leader in the middle of that defense, and I think Dean can be that guy. For the Ravens, they need an interior defensive tackle and edge. Well, there's not really much of that at all right here. You could go with Sanders. You know what? In my opinion, I think they need offensive tackle. Okay, Alejandro Villanueva has not been good at all for them this year, so I think he needs to be replaced. I'm a big fan of Nick Petit-Frere. I've watched a lot of his film, and I really like him. I think he'd be a good fit there. We'll go ahead and have them take him. Then for the Cowboys, I would agree, need edge and safety. I would also argue corner for opposite of Trayvon Diggs. I'm going to go ahead and actually have them take Kaiir Elam. As I mentioned earlier, the dude is an absolute stud. He's my cornerback 3 in this class. So he's really good. Then for the Chiefs, wide receiver and edge, I'd say that's accurate. I mean, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, really the only real true weapons for that team. get another just really good receiver there, I'm going to go ahead and take Jameson Williams out of Alabama. I think this is really good value. He's a guy that could honestly go in the top 15, so they get great value right there for him. Then the Cardinals at 28 need corner and edge. Unfortunately, Kyrie Lam isn't on the board anymore, so it's a matter of, do you want Sanders or do you want Trent McDuffie or Roger McCreary? Wow, Roger McCreary's down far. I'm actually a bigger fan of him than McDuffie and Emerson, if I'm being honest. I would honestly take Roger McCreary over them. Some might argue it's a little bit early, but they really need some cornerback help. I'm going to go ahead and give them Roger McCreary. Then the Titans here. I would say they need some offensive tackle help. Their left tackle position really is not very good right now. I'm going to go ahead and have them take Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa. Then for the Bucks really don't have like any holes at all. I think there's an argument here. Would the Bucks rather develop Kyle Trask and let him be the future when Brady's gone? Or would they want to develop more, like Sam Howell or Desmond Ridder? Or take Daxton Hill for, help for Antoine Winfield. I feel like they'd need corner help more than safety, if I'm being honest. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and give them Sam Howell. I think he has a talented arm. I think he's a guy that can throw it deep, which is exactly what Bruce Arians wants. Have Tom Brady, show him the ropes and everything. Take the reins in 2, 3, 4 years. I think that's perfect for him. Then the Patriots here also need a wide receiver and a corner. We'll go ahead and have them take Drake London. I think that'd be a really good fit for their system. Then lastly, the Packers here need edge, offensive tackle, and an interior D-line. I think Sanders would be perfect on the opposite side of Zadarius Smith. So, yeah, I think that's a great fit. So let me know what you think of this mock draft. Let me know what you agree with, what you don't agree with. Again, guys, please be sure to smash that like button and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow the channel. So if you guys could help me out with that, that'd be awesome. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.